All right, welcome to another edition of Which Gear Should I Buy? And this week I got a message from one of my subscribers, and let me read it for you now. And this guy, his name is Christopher K. Guitar, and I'm going to read it in the voice of Arnold because that's what I want to do. Hey man, I'm really digging your channel. Honest and perfect reviews. Congratulations on that. If I might request one topic, can you compare the EVH 100 watt Stealth to the Peavey Invective 120? The reason for me is that I really love the Invective that I own, but now it has a technical issue that no amp guy around me can fix. And since I'm located in Germany, sending it back to America would be a huge hassle for me. So I'm considering replacing it, and due to COVID-19, there is no other Invectives to come by in Germany. You seem to love the Stealth, so it would be a huge help for me making the decision. Thanks, man, and keep up your great work. All right, Christopher. Well, your wish is my command, so not only am I going to tell you which one I think you should buy, but I'm going to shoot them out for you and talk about what I'm experiencing in the room with these amplifiers. So let's go ahead and begin with the shootout right now. Now, I have the Stealth dialed in my opinion, perfectly right now. And later in this video, I will show you a picture of the settings I have on all three channels. But before we do the shootout, let's go ahead and dial in the Invective. And for all the Karens out there who complain about everything, I do have the foot switch hooked to the Invective, and the master boost is on, and it's cranked all the way up in the back. So I don't want to hear anybody coming on here saying, "Did you crank the master boost?" Yeah, it's cranked, okay? Go back to eating Cheetos in your mom's basement. All right, so let's go ahead and do the dial-in right now on the Invective, and I'll get it sounding on all three channels as good as I can, and then we'll shoot it out with the Stealth. For now, let's start on the clean channel on the Peavey Invective and get that sounding as good as we can. Then we'll move on to channel 2 and channel 3. All right, so I have that channel dialed in really well. I think it has a nice sparkle to it. It's really full and warm as well, so there's a nice chime in there, and I think it sounds really freaking good. All right, so another really cool feature on channel 1 on the Invective is you can engage a built-in boost on it and turn it into a nice classic rock channel, and it actually sounds pretty good. So let's go ahead and check that out right now. All right, so that sounds really good. There's a lot of potential with this channel in this mode for some good classic rock stuff. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and engage the Mud Killer and push it even harder and get a really nice edgy breakup out of it. And you'll see that it does have a really good classic rock tone. So let's go ahead and do that now. Alright, so not bad for a clean channel on this amplifier. You know, like I said, just turn the boost on and then slam the front end with an overdrive and you can get some really edgy, nice classic rock tones out of it. So let's go ahead and move on to channel 2 now, which is the crunch channel. And again, we were on the green channel still during all this. So the green has two modes. You have a dirty mode and a clean mode. So let's go ahead and move on to channel 2 now and dial that in and see how that sounds. And I'll start with the boost off. Alright, well it definitely needs a boost. It sounds pretty good, but it's a little unresponsive and kind of flubby. So let's try the internal boost on the amplifier before we go to the mud killer. So I'm going to go ahead and engage the boost now and see if that fixes the issue. Okay, so the internal boost definitely tightened it up and helped a lot, but I'm still not 100% satisfied with the internal boost in this amplifier. I think it's a good feature to have, but there's a reason why there's a billion boost pedals out there. It's because they're all different and they all do a different thing. And there's a lot of options on boost pedals that really help you fine-tune everything regarding your tone and the feel of the amplifier. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the internal boost off on the amplifier and engage the mud killer because I kind of prefer that. And I'll finish dialing it in with that. Alright, so in my opinion, that's about as good as that channel's going to get. So I have the mud killer pushing it really hard, and you know, I mean, that's about as nasty as that channel's going to get. So let's go ahead and move on to channel 3 with the same EQ settings that we're using on channel 2 because it is a shared EQ. And let's just see what channel 3 has to offer, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the boost off and dial it in and engage the boost afterwards. I'm going to go ahead and bypass the boost on the amplifier. I already knew it wouldn't work for me, but I just did it for the video, and I've already proven that it's not that good. So I'm not going to use the boost in the amplifier anymore. I'm going to continue using the mud killer. But I will turn it off now and then dial in the amp and then engage it afterwards. Alright, so I like the lead channel on this amplifier much more than the crunch channel. It's just not as round and flubby. It's a little more articulate and aggressive, and the feel on it's a lot better as well. And I think the voicing is more to my taste. I mean, it's got that nice edge to it that I like, and a little more texture as well. So the pedal is off, so let's go ahead and engage the overdrive now and see how it feels with that. Alright, so I think that I really got this channel dialed in very well. I think it sounds about as good as it's gonna for this video anyways. I mean, it's really aggressive, really nasty, and the feel and response is freaking awesome. So I really don't know what else I could do to this amplifier to make it sound better at this point. I got the mud killer in front of it. I have the gain set up perfectly in my opinion. It's at like 1 o'clock on the amplifier, and I'll just show you the settings. So here's where the gain is. There's the low, mids, highs, and then the, resonance and presence. So it's about as good as you can get it. So let's go ahead and shoot it out with the Stealth and see what happens. Okay, so in my opinion, the clean channel on the Invective is a little rounder, and the clean channel on the EVH Stealth is a little brighter. Both are really good, very usable, just depends on your taste. So in this demonstration, I'm going to compare the green channel, which is the clean channel, on both of these amplifiers in the classic rock mode. So I have the boost engaged on the Peavey Invective, which gives that channel a nice crunchy kind of response. And I have the gain on the green channel on the Stealth cranked all the way up. And what that does is give it a really nice classic rock, almost classic metal type channel. I mean, it's really good. And I'll turn the boost off and do a couple riffs on both channels, then I'll engage it. And I think both of these channels sound a lot better in these modes with the boost engaged. But for now, I'll turn it off to show you the difference. Alright, so now let's engage the overdrive pedal and see how these channels sound with that. Okay, so I very much preferred the EVH Stealth in that mode. I just feel like it had more balls, it was fuller, and the feel was great. So if you slam the front end of that amplifier and crank the gain on channel 1, I mean, you can get some really good tones out of it. In fact, let me play a couple more riffs on that channel now and show you some more of what it can do. Yeah, I know, I screwed up the harmonic part, but who cares? That sounds incredible. So if you want that classic rock tone, green channel on the EVH Stealth all day long. Just crank the gain, slam it with an overdrive, and you're good. It's going to sound incredible. Now let's compare channel 2, which are the crunch rhythm channels on both of these amplifiers. Let's start with the overdrive pedal off, and then I'll engage it. And pay attention to the screen, because when you see the overdrive pedal, that means it's on. When you don't see it, that means it's off. Alright, so without the overdrive pedal, there was a huge difference between these two amplifiers. I mean, the Stealth was so much tighter and responsive than the Invective. I mean, the Invective without it was really mushy, especially when you compare it side by side with the Stealth. So, without the overdrive pedal, I extremely, very much preferred the Stealth. But when the overdrive pedal was engaged, it definitely helped the Peavey out quite a bit, you know. In fact, it made it a lot more playable and likable. And with the Stealth, it just made it more angry, which I like. So now let's move on to the red channels on both of these amplifiers and see how they compare with and without the overdrive pedal. Well, I very much preferred the red channel on the Stealth with and without the overdrive over the red channel or the lead channel on the Invective. I mean, the Stealth is just miles and miles ahead of the Invective with and without the overdrive. It's more responsive, it's more articulate, you got more clarity, and it's more aggressive, and the feel is just freaking awesome, and it's a lot tighter as well. And the texture that you have in the Stealth is just noticeably better. It really is, you know. Now, there are a couple of Easter eggs in the Stealth, and one of them I've already shared with you, and that is that the green channel can also act as a really good classic rock or even a, late 80s, early 90s metal channel as well. But the other Easter egg in the Stealth is on the red channel. So the gain on the blue channel greatly affects how the red channel feels and sounds. It's amazing. So when you turn the gain all the way down on the blue channel while you're in the red channel, what happens is it rounds it out so that if you want to hit it with an external boost like we're doing today, it allows that headroom so that when the boost is engaged, I mean, it doesn't get overly aggressive and unruly, So it just sounds incredible. Or if you don't want to use a boost, what you do while you're on the red channel is crank the gain all the way up on the blue channel, and it tightens up the red channel and makes it even more aggressive. And I'll demonstrate that for you now. I already did a video about this, but I'll just give you a quick demonstration with that right now, and you're going to be amazed at how much that gain on the blue channel affects the red channel. It's an incredible Easter egg that Eddie put in that amplifier for us, and that's something that really sets the Stealth apart from all the other amps on the market, except for the EL34, because that has the same Easter eggs in it. So let me go ahead and demonstrate that for you now. So what I'm going to do is play some riffs on the red channel, and I'm going to start with the gain all the way down on the blue channel, and I'm going to crank it while I'm playing the riffs, and you'll hear the red channel tighten up and get more aggressive as I turn it up, and then I'll turn it back down and you'll hear how it rounds out. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off the mud killer right now so there's no boost in front of the amplifier. Okay, the pedal is off, so let's go ahead and hear how this sounds when I do these adjustments. Alright, that's incredible. It really is. And you especially notice it when you're playing it because the feel becomes completely different. The Stealth becomes a lot more responsive when you crank the gain on the blue channel while you're in the red channel. So now, really quick, what I'm going to do is, say you think, yeah, that's a really cool feature, but I'd rather use an external boost on the red channel and, sculpt it my own way with all the knobs on my boost pedal. No problem. So all you do is turn the gain all the way down on the blue channel while you're in the red channel and engage the boost, and it rounds out, like I said earlier, it rounds out the red channel just enough so that there's headroom. So when you hit it with a boost, it doesn't become overly saturated and just unruly and hard to control. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate that for you right now. So I'll turn the gain all the way down on the blue channel while I'm in the red channel and engage the boost. It just makes a huge difference. So if you want to boost your red channel, just turn the gain all the way down on the blue channel, and it just really makes it sound and feel amazing. So as far as I'm concerned, between the two amps, they're both very versatile. I mean, you got two different modes in the clean channel on both amplifiers. You have a clean mode, and you also have a mode where you can have some pretty good gain in there for classic rock, or even when you're talking the EVH Stealth, you can get into classic metal tones with that, and the feel is amazing. It's really responsive and fast. It's got a great sound and feel to it. And then the crunch channel on both of these amplifiers, they do the job pretty well. In my opinion, I think the Stealth does it much better. It's more modern, it's a little drier, more articulate, little angrier, better texture, but both of them do have a good crunch channel in them, depending on what you're looking for. And then on the lead channels on both of these amplifiers, there's plenty of gain and great feel, but I think the Stealth just has it over the Invective in that department as well, because the Stealth red channel is the quintessential lead channel with that awesome Easter egg in it where you can use it for a rhythm channel as well as a lead channel. And when you adjust the gain on the blue channel, a lot of great stuff happens in the red channel on the Stealth, and that's not something that you get on the Invective. As good as the Invective is, it just doesn't have that feature. And I really love that feature a lot. So if you take advantage of some of the features that are in the Stealth, I think that you're going to find that it's a better buy. And just the overall tone and feel of the Stealth is better. You do not have a shared EQ in the Stealth like you do on the Invective. You have independent EQs on all three channels, including resonance and presence on the EVH Stealth. So you have all the tonal shaping opportunities on that amplifier. And you know, like I said, I feel like the versatility on both of these amps is there, you know, but I feel like the version of versatility and the version of the tones that you get on the Stealth it's just better, you know, because you're going to get a more modern, better take on all of these things, where I feel like the Invective, especially on the green channel when you're doing the classic rock tones and stuff, I mean, it does it pretty good, but as soon as you switch over to the Stealth and play those, you're like, oh, yeah, I like this better. You know, it really does a much better job. So now what I'm going to do to finish up this video is do a quick mix on both amplifiers and what I think are their best settings and best channels. So I'm going to pick the red channel on the Invective because if I was to play this amplifier, I'd probably just stay on that because I feel like the crunch channel is a little too mushy for me. So I'm going to do that. And then what I'm going to do is put it up against the Stealth with the Easter egg trick, you know, engaged in the red channel, except I'm going to boost the red channel with my Mud Killer and crank the gain all the way down on the blue channel in the Stealth so I get that really nice headroom and it responds to the overdrive pedal really well. Both channels will be boosted on the amp, so let's go ahead and start with the mixes now, and then you can make the best decision that works for you between these two amplifiers. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this episode and this comparison between these two amazing amplifiers. You know, Christopher, if you were just sitting down having a beer with me, or we were talking about the different amps and stuff, and you explained that situation to me, I would advise you to get the Stealth. I really would. Between these two amplifiers, I would say hands down, without a doubt, I would get the Stealth. I just think that the Stealth has a better version of all of the versatility that both of these amplifiers have to offer. And regarding the tone and feel, I just think there's more tonal options with the Stealth. It's more flexible because you have independent EQs on all three channels, and you have independent resonance and presence knobs on all three channels, unlike the Invective. And I just think the overall tone is better because you're going to get more texture. It's a little drier, more articulate. It's not as flubby. It's tighter. It's more aggressive. I mean, just everything. It's just a complete win on every category over the Invective. It's more modern sounding. You know, I love the Easter eggs in there. It's just amazing. So I hope this helps you make your decision, and anybody else watching, if you're trying to decide between these two amplifiers, hopefully I steered you in the right direction. My channel is all about being honest and shooting straight with you guys and not pulling any punches. I mean, I have a lot of respect for the Peavey Invective. I think it's a great amplifier, but if I had to pick one, I would definitely pick the Stealth, and I would feel really good about that choice. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And to all my Patreon supporters and subscribers, thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, please do, and click the bell so that you can be notified every time I either go live or come out with an episode for you guys. Well, I got a lot more stuff coming up for you guys, and I will see you on the next one.